All right, test, test, test. I think we're good to go. Just kind of pulling this up, making sure that I can do an audio check. I hope everyone's doing well. So we're going to go through some cool stuff. Crypto list. Sorry, all of a sudden my internet is going very slow. So give me just a minute and I'll pull it up. Just want to check the stream and make sure that it's going. Of course. I'll grab the link and I'll share it out and everything like that. Hope you're doing well. CryptoList.io is out in its beta form. So there's going to be some errors you can expect. We're going to be doing some updates. We're going to continue to build out the features and all that. So yeah, it's really, really cool. There's a lot of good stuff happening. And yeah, I'm excited for this. We've got some big plans coming, and that's what I kind of want to cover. But first and foremost, I need to make sure that I can check and see if the audio's going. Okay, your channel. Here we go. Let's check it out. Okay, I'm going to test this audio and grab the link and share it out. Oh, it's being slow. So just bear with me while I get that going. Okay, I got the link. Let me just make sure it's here. So by the way, you can check it's in the description below, the cryptolist.io, that app, or you can go to cryptolist.com and then launch the app from there. So it's because of my VPN. Let me change something. There we go. All right, I can hear now. Let me just pop out the live chat if I can. And my kids are home on summer break, so you're going to hear them in the background. There's nothing I can do about that. Okay, cool. So we're ready to go. I'm just going to share this out and say, hey, so we are live on YouTube. Come join us and preview the crypto list beta platform there. All right, perfect. So we're going to go through the platform. And I'm also going to get this shared out in our Telegram. All right, cool. Let me just check the Twitter, make sure that went out, and we should be good to go. Okay, perfect. So yeah, here we are. Let's share the screen. And we'll go right here. Cool. So you're seeing my screen. This is cryptolist.com. Let's reload it so it looks all nice. So cryptolist.com, we're going to continue to update this, but we have our website. We've changed some things around a little bit. Some of this is going to look familiar. Here's the next items on the to-do list. Okay, so beta release is done. Next, community-owned business. We're going to have the BSC contract relaunched. The CryptoList.io feature build out. We're going to continue to improve on this and build it out. And then our bounty system utility. So we'll talk about that. And here we go, just all the way down to the bottom. But if you go to the main top or the top here, the main menu, it says launch app. Click that. It brings you to CryptoList.io. and this is our beta platform. So you can check things out. Obviously, there's going to be some errors. There's going to be some things as we fix it and build it up and all that. But so let's take a look at CryptoList. So we have our shield score, our audits, safe cert, multi-sig verification, tokenomics, liquidity burn, our taxes, our honeypot scanner. That's what all this is in our token distribution. A description, we have website, white paper, all of our social medias, and then transaction histories. And you can see those transactions if you wanted to pop that up and take a look. And we have our chart. So there's things that, like I said, we're going to continue to build upon and improve, but this is our site. And you can use, what's cool is you can use our site, our platform, to look into and chart a token like CryptoList, which is a micro cap, very small market cap, or you can go and take a look at something like Bitcoin, which we're going to do. So we're going to pull up Bitcoin and we're going to do a bit of charting here. So let's pull up, because I want to talk about the market as well, using our platform, which is very, very cool. Real quick, we'll have the bounties up as soon as that's out. You have a token scan. So if you have a contract address, you can just paste in the contract address and it'll do a scan. There's a few things that need to be tweaked on that. If you want to buy list, you can do that. You come here, you're going to be on Kybex. This is the cheapest way to do it as far as gas, right? So you're going to save a lot of money on gas. You have Ethereum, and then you come to this list and you get list right there. So you're going to buy 10 ETH worth, and well, you connect your wallet and all that good stuff. Oops, and you'll be able to buy a list. So that's really cool. Actually, hold on. Oh shoot. Let me change this. I gotta change the screen share. It's not working. I thought it was working. All right, share screen. And I gotta go to the Brave. Let's do window and StreamYard. Okay, here it is right here. Here's our website. I'm gonna do that again. So our website, and you saw all of this, but you click launch app and it'll take you to cryptolist.io, and we have our home page here. We have some featured tokens, some spotlighted tokens recently added, tokens, new pairs. You can see new pairs. You can explore cryptocurrencies by the market cap. So you can look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Cardano, XRP, all of the big boys, all of the main tokens here. But you can also look at tokens. Let's see, let's pull up CryptoList. You can pull up like CryptoList, right? And take a look at small or medium or micro caps like ourselves. You can see the audits, the price, you have the contract address, you see if it's verified or not. Token distribution, 100% of liquidity, our shield score, taxes, honeypots, right? Here's how our taxes are split up. We're doxed, audited, multi-sig, all that. Here's all of our links, our white paper, website, transaction history. So you get to see all of that. Grind times. How are you doing today, Cameron? Congrats. Thank you. Doing very, very well. Excited to start displaying cryptolist.io, and we've got some big stuff coming up in the near future. I want to show you a couple other features. So token scan, you can take a contract address, paste it in there, and it'll give you a breakdown. There's a few things that need to be changed there. You can buy CryptoList by clicking on that, and you're going to be on Ethereum. You'll hit select, and you'll select what token you want to buy, and we're right here, list, right at the top. And go ahead and connect your wallet, buy 10 ETH or whatever you want to do, and we'll pump that up. So perfect. All right, we've been taking a look at this. Let's get into the market. Let's use CryptoList, its main utility, which is our charting platform. So yes, there's things that are going to be improved upon. This is the beta, but what an exciting milestone for our project to get this out. So here's what we're doing. We're taking a look at at Bitcoin right now. And this is the weekly view. So obviously, just like TradingView, these are TradingView charts. So you have all of the same tools. You can draw trend lines and whatever you want to do. So let's use it. Let's get into this. First off, let's take a look at the hour chart for Bitcoin. This is the hour chart. Now it looks very different than the Ethereum chart. The Ethereum chart is more of like this, it looks like a wedge pattern, where Ethereum is more of like a straight across range. And it's been kind of, actually, I'm going to be more like here and pull that down. So it's more like this. So we've been in this range, right? And so this is where Bitcoin's at. But if we take a look at Ethereum, it's a very different pattern. This slope, let me draw this. This slope here is kind of what we're seeing with Ethereum. So I'll make it in yellow. You can see this yellow here. So this is more like what we're seeing with Ethereum, but with Bitcoin, if we were to kind of go with that pattern, which made sense a little bit, right? We broke up and came down and tested, right? And came back up, and now it looks like we're moving back up. So I have been thinking that we are probably moving lower, but based on where Bitcoin is, if Bitcoin's driving this market, which often it does, right? We may not be moving lower yet, but I want to kind of show with Ethereum maybe a different view. So yeah, we had this here, and it looks like we broke out, but truly, I think we're just ranging. I think we're just between these two ranges, and we'll probably move back up. I don't know if we take this high, if we just come to maybe like 31,000, or exactly where we go. I mean, technically, so lower low, right? Actually, well, no, sorry. Lower high, lower low. So it's very possible with Bitcoin that we just move to this range right here. Let me change my thing here. Let's make this a little bit thicker, and we'll make this yellow. So it's very possible that with Bitcoin, again, this is Bitcoin hour chart, and I'm looking at the Binance USD T pair, but I think we could potentially get a rejection at this about 31,000. We could get a rejection lower, but typically where we have such a big and quick move down right here, typically we like to come back and test it, and then we see, all right, are we going to go higher, or is it actually going to go back down lower, right? So we'll see. But here's something that's a little bit different. Let's take a look at ETH. Ethereum, although it's moving up right now, has a very different pattern. So let's go to the 1 hour charts, and don't mistake it at all. Bitcoin drives markets, right? It's driving the market. But this is what I want to show, is that you see it's very, very different. We have not broken this trend line. With Ethereum, we are, yeah, so I think that's good enough right there. You can see what I'm talking about. With Ethereum, we're much weaker. See, Bitcoin came up and consolidated and moved up and consolidated, right? This is where Bitcoin's at. Ethereum is still down here. And the longer we consolidate along this bottom line, the more likely for me it is that we break this bottom line. And so what I think is this: if Ethereum stays low and Bitcoin gets rejected at that level, 31,000 that I was talking about, it's very, very likely that Ethereum, maybe it comes up here, maybe gets to 1850 or something, right? And then it comes back down, consolidate, and we break. I don't know. I mean, like I have 1400 as a pretty good level. Depending on how you want to measure this, if you were to measure this right here, that'd be like 20%. So a lot of people like to measure 20% from the break, which would be roughly about 1400. So like the height, if you didn't catch that, the height of that triangle, right? It would be the same down is what we would break. So whatever this for this height is what you can expect to go down, which would put us about 1400. I don't know if that's of course going to happen. It's very possible that we just continue to move up and we find and test and move up. That's obviously possible, but we want to talk about what's most likely. And off of the TA, it's most likely that we move down when I see this much consolidation. I mean, think it like this is what I want to kind of point out. We touched it, we moved down. We touched it, we moved down. Touched it, moved down. Didn't even touch it there and moved down. But look at this. We're like spending time here. Spending time here. I mean, I guess I like it is a touch, then it moves, and a touch and it moves. But what I'm saying is we're spending a lot more time. I mean, up here, right? Let's like divide this up. I want to really kind of illustrate what I'm talking about. If you were to divide this up and like from here, kind of split that across, okay? Something like let's split this. Let's put, how about purple? I like that purple. Okay, so we're splitting our wedge or our triangle, right? Let's say that this is approximately half. Over here, this is pretty bullish, okay? Because we were spending a lot of time on this upper level, and so the likelihood that we broke out, well, I mean, it was higher. It was a higher likelihood. Now, when we came down, right, we spent a good amount of time. When we came up, it was pretty quick. Came up, got rejected, and we lost it, right? And then we spent a good amount of time, a lot more time down here than we did above. Came up pretty quick, and now we're back down. So I guess what I want to say is I think it's likely that our consolidation, our most recent consolidation, is going to stay around here. And so unless we just get, final support, we say, hey, we are done with this area and we are moving up and we start to see some really strong movement, I wouldn't expect much. I really wouldn't expect much. I would actually expect lower. And there's been, I mean, I think we have to admit the economy is not strong, the US economy. The world economy is kind of in a wreck too, but the US economy is not strong. I am actually fully convinced we're in a recession. Even though I don't think the experts or anyone are is going to admit that yet, but we're in a recession. We're in a very I think the bubble is bursting, the credit bubble that has been created, and inflation's just the first part of this. I've been seeing a lot of firms like BlackRock buying homes. And I'm thinking at the price of where homes are at, why would they be buying this, right? And obviously there is market manipulation. They're doing things like they'll buy a couple homes. I know Zillow was doing this for a little while. They'll buy a couple homes in proximity to each other. They'll buy one for 400. They'll buy another one for 500,000, and then that means that the $400,000 house is now higher, right? Like it's priced higher, so they can now buy that one, or sorry, sell that one at a higher price. So they're doing stuff like that, but now they're buying and holding. They're not renting it, as far as I know. They're not doing anything. They're buying and holding. Why? Why? Well, because I think what's happening is they are ready and set for the pop of this bubble. They're ready for the destruction of it's like this reset, or whatever. But I think what's going to happen is this: like, they hold hard assets, and hard assets always maintain value, but not obviously at the current rate that it's at if it's at a bubble. And so what you would expect is for someone like BlackRock or whatever, to maybe be buying homes, knowing that this bubble's popping, knowing that the crash is coming. They're still owning property. So it's not like they're in stocks or in something that's going to be liquidated or go to zero, right? Land's not going to go to zero. But they will be able to write off massive losses while maintaining and having possession of the land and property. And then, of course, I'm sure bailouts or whatever will be coming their way. So I think that they get to double dip while actually holding property. I mean, that's not a bad deal at all. And then write off taxes, write off losses, write off whatever, right? So I'm kind of expecting that is what the motive is right here. So what I think, if I'm kind of wargaming this out, let's go long. Let's talk about long term. If we move down lower, I'm looking at maybe 1400 for Ethereum, Bitcoin, probably just the bottom of the range because Bitcoin is acting a little bit stronger than Ethereum is right now. But sometimes we get, like, I'm expecting, it's going to be really, really interesting because we have to weigh that Ethereum and crypto, it's a hedge against the dollar, but is it going to decouple? Is it going to break away? Is it going to really protect us? I'm not sure. I hope so. I mean, that's the whole point, right? So if the economy continues to go down, right, I think it's possible that we might get, so we might get like a summer low, maybe 1400 or something, right? And kind of move back up and then move a little bit higher, move a little bit higher, move a little bit higher. I don't know that we take out the high, but we're going to get a like a fake out. I would maybe put it at, not a fake out. I mean, it's going to be real. It's going to have an opportunity to make money. But what I guess what I'm expecting is something like, okay, so we go from the top to, let's say, 1400 or so, right? So maybe we get to, yeah, 35, 3600 for Ethereum. And it's kind of like the last little bit, and people are going to be taking profits. People are going to get their money, and it's probably going to lead into a longer term bear market. I'm not 100% sure, of course, but I am looking at the economy, and I think the economy is very weak. Matter of fact, one of the last or most recent live streams that I did where we were charting together, we were talking about the Fed, and the Fed came out and they made their announcements. Yes, we're going to raise interest rates, but we're only going to be doing 50 points instead of 100 points, and we're going to be doing it in a few months, and right. And what ended up, to me, I said it's bullshit. I said it's bullshit. They're not going to raise interest rates. I know that they're saying that they are, but they're not. And I saw yesterday that the Fed is already trying to walk it back. Okay, because what they did is usually they would say, all right, we're raising interest rates. They would make the announcement, what within the meeting, and the policy would go into effect, and they would change the interest rates, or whatever, raise it by X amount of basis points, and that's what it was. Now it's they forecast, right? And they try and get the hype. Think of crypto, right? Think of how projects like to work, where they create hype, or whatever. But it's kind of the reverse, because they're trying to make things seem not as bad as they are, right? And so they say, we're going to raise it 100 basis points. That's what you can expect. And they kind of put this fear out there for a while. And this fear was like, okay, so now businesses are planning, they're expecting, they're adjusting prices and whatever, right? And then they come out and they say, you know what, we're only going to do 50 basis points instead of 100. And so now it's like, oh, okay, right? So they're trying to make it seem like not as bad of news is good news, right? So they wanted people to be like, oh, this is good news, right? Because they're not doing the 100. But people are smart. They're not stupid, right? And this is the problem with centralized planning is people respond to change, and it's almost like the psychopathic mind that thinks, oh, we can just like change something, and the populace or individuals aren't going to maneuver themselves, right? Like we know best, and that's like a psychopathic mindset in my view, right? People are smart. They're going to adapt. They're going to see this. And so they were, we saw that there was like this fake rally for a little bit, and then it dumped like the next day on this news. And but I said, hey, don't even worry about it. They're not going to raise interest rates. They're going to get to June, July, and they're gonna say, you know what, we need to probably look at the economy and see how things are at, and we want to make sure that it's responsible, and blah blah blah. Well, sure enough, I saw yesterday that that's exactly what they're talking about. They're talking about, well, we need to be making policy and see how the economy responds to it, and we don't want to do too much too soon or anything like that. So we're gonna have to see what we do with the interest rates after all, because it's too weak, because they can't actually do anything. They can't raise interest rates. They should, and it would, don't get me wrong, it would be a day of reckoning. um, it would be a day of reckoning to have the interest rates raised like this, but it would be a good thing long term. It would be a good thing long term to have the interest rates raised, because it's kind of like taking the medicine. It's cutting out the sickness, which is greed and short-sightedness, where we can just print whatever money we need, and because it's expedient in the short term, but long term it is ruining the value of the currency, and we can see that, right, ever since we decoupled from gold in the Bretton Woods Agreement. Um, and so now we have digital gold, we have Bitcoin, we have Ethereum, and this is supposed to be a hedge against political greed, short-sightedness, and doing what's expedient instead of what's right. And I think it's always a safe bet to say that the political or ruling class is going to do what is expedient or beneficial for them rather than what is right. Um, and with very few exceptions, that is the case. So I think it's a safe bet. But the question is does the general populace, do we see that, right? Do we see Bitcoin as a hedge, because it's supposed to be, right? Do we see it as a hedge against inflation? And maybe it's, Bitcoin's doing better than Ethereum right now because of high inflation, and inflation's incredibly high. The CPI numbers have never been accurate. Well, not never, but in recent time, they have not been accurate, and they're certainly not accurate today, right? It's just, again, another political metric designed to benefit or whatever. It's ridiculous. I mean, to give you an idea, they don't look at what people are paying for rent. They call homeowners and say, hey, what would you expect rent to be right now? If you were to rent, I know you own a home, but if you were to rent, what do you think you'd be paying for rent right now? And that's one of their metrics for how they calculate the price of rent that people are paying. They don't actually look at what's being done, right? So the CPI numbers are bullshit. Just like nearly everything that we get is bullshit. And like, I'm not taking a political stance. I'm the furthest thing from political. We have to just deal with the reality um, of the of our current situation, because if we don't, then how do we get it, how do we get better, right? If you're not willing to say that politicians lie, um, then you're not going to be making objectively correct decisions. So looking long term, I would expect more upward pressure. I think that Bitcoin is going to move up. I think Bitcoin could easily do 37.5. I think Bitcoin could easily do 43. I think that Bitcoin could really move up and potentially even get back into 40s, 50s, right? Is that possible? 100%. 100% is that possible, right? But we do have to look at this, which is the main kind of question when we look at the economy, is are people going to be able to afford to hodl? That's kind of the question. Is it, will people afford, or can they afford to hodl? If they have money, if Bitcoin rallies, if Ethereum rallies, right? If these things rally, in a recession, are we going to have a bull run when the dollar's in a recession? I don't know, but I'll tell you, it's very, very possible. And it definitely does not spell the end for crypto. Don't mistake me. We very well could go to an all-time high. I think somewhere towards the end of this year, we will start moving in the right direction, whether to 50,000 or whether to 100 or 90,000, right? I don't know, but what I do know is I believe we will be moving up higher. I don't think we just continue to hang out below 40,000. For the rest of this year and the rest of 2023. I don't think that that's the case at all, right? We're getting back to 40,000. But so because here's the other element that we need to consider is the weight of the US dollar on emerging markets, right? Emerging markets, in my opinion, is a great thing to be seeing if it's an investment that's right for you. Emerging markets, I believe, are going to thrive with the dollar. Well, let me see that. With the dollar having proper competition, and that could be crypto. It could be gold and silver. It could be other currencies. It could be their own currency, right? I mean, that's kind of the idea. But the weight of the dollar, the debt, this whole the dollar being the reserve currency of the world, losing that status is going to be huge when it comes to the emerging markets and the rest of the world. So, does the rest of the world move into crypto because it's financial freedom? And it's real money and it's doing well and it's a good hedge against this. It's a good competition against the US dollar. It very well could be the case. It very well could be the case. And we're seeing countries move that way. So yeah, I think that is a real possibility. I don't think that the crypto market is done for just because the US is going to lose the reserve currency status, which I do think is going to happen. I think that's going to happen fairly soon. And it'll probably be matched up or coincide or maybe paired up with like the Fed dollar, which I know that they're talking about implementing. They want a digital currency. The Federal Reserve wants a digital currency, and why wouldn't they? Right? Everyone does. But I'll tell you, that is one dev team that I do not believe in. So I am not buying that. I'm not buying that team. I'm not buying that token. No. Anyway, look, I appreciate the conversation. It's been fun to talk about it. I think that Bitcoin is on a tear. It very well could move. Let's look at it again. I mean, look at this. It's just while we've been on here, it's been pumping. Here we go. That was the number. That was the number that I said at the beginning of the stream. 31,000. 31,000. So that's the number that I called, right? Do we move a little bit higher? Do we take this high? Or do we get rejected? Let's see, what time is it? It's 2 o'clock my time. So we've got 4 hours till the open. The next hour is gonna be really, really important. It's gonna be really, really important. I think that there's a sell-off with the open of the Asian market, which is in approximately 4 hours. And if we don't take some serious highs or get some serious confidence, I think that it opens, we sell off, and we probably put in a lower low. Now that would be a lower low for Ethereum. It might just be, we might just wipe this out and come back down to 29.5, potentially 28. I don't know, something like that. But I would really here's the problem. I don't like this. I don't like single candles. I don't like this. It means it's going to get filled again. It means we're just moving, right? There's not a lot of price negotiation. So I don't necessarily think that this is the way to do it. What we like to see is consolidation, negotiation, blah, blah, blah. But look, I mean, Bitcoin is a moving. Bitcoin is a moving. So we'll see if we take this high, if we move up to some significant levels. That very well could be very bullish, right? But if you notice, look at where, okay, let's take a measurement kind of from the low right here to here, about 10%, okay? Let's see where Ethereum's at. I don't know, I didn't like measure this before, so, but let's take a look where Ethereum's at. Okay, let's go to hours. Okay, perfect. Get this volume off. We'll measure this out. Okay, 8%. Not too bad. Not too bad. But this is the thing I kind of want to point out is this line. This trend line, boom, boom, boom. We have not fared well against it. Now, if we move up and we get support and we move up, that would be fantastic. That would be great. Welcome to $2,300. Welcome to $2,500 Bitcoin, right? Or sorry, Ethereum. That would be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But if we get rejected right where we're at and we come back down, I would expect probably a lower low. I would expect some consolidation, and I would expect a sell-off below 1700, which would not be very fun. I mean, give you good buy opportunity, right? But we really need to start breaking this trend line and moving higher. We need to break 2000. We need to break maybe 21. We need to start turning this into a range instead of this this wedge pattern that is crumble, you know, looks like it's about to crumble. I mean, we're spending a lot of time down in this area. Let me turn this magnet off. Spend a lot of time down in this area. We need to start getting to higher levels. Get to higher ground. Get to higher ground. So yeah, very, very cool. It's exciting to see this. We got 4 hours to the Asian Open, and we'll see where we're at. Anyways, I hope you like this charting on cryptolist.io, our beta platform. You can go to cryptolist.com. You can see everything that we have. We have charts, which, by the way, you can click on our ETH chart. Boom, takes you to cryptolist.io. Actually, I meant for it to come to our token, but we we can fix that, no problem. Tax, you know, honeypot, taxes, shield score, token distribution, right? It just tells you all this. Very good information here. So that is beautiful, right? This tells you that the top 10 holders, and you can take a look at that. Of course, you can check out the Etherscan and see all the other holders, but that's the top 10 token distribution. Audits, safe cert, right? Here's our safe cert. It pulls that up from Safe Solidity. It's loading our certificate. We're verified, we're audited, we're checked, we passed everything. Very, very good. We have a multi-sig wallet. Yeah. Here's our taxes, tokenomics, all that good stuff. White paper, website, and cryptolist.io in the beta form. So it's very exciting as we are able to accomplish this milestone of actually releasing our platform in beta. And let's go back real quick. Let's look at the short-term next items on our to-do list. So beta release. Now we're going to be focusing on making this business, CryptoList, a community-owned business. We'll be talking more about that. We're going to have our BSC contract relaunched because we are just having too many errors and it's not working like it should be for the community. CryptoList.io feature build out. We're going to be continuing to improve. We're going to continue to add features, and the bounty system utility that is going to be released as well. So these are the next items on our to-do list. Very, very excited for the future of CryptoList. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you very much. You have a great day, and we will be doing a Twitter space, I believe. I don't know if it's in 10 minutes or if it's in 40 minutes, but within the hour. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks very much. Have a great day.